Webflow just dropped a massive MCP update, and it finally made its MCP actually usable. Not just pushing CMS data, but actually going inside of the Webflow designer and actually editing things. It can create elements, apply styles, build pages from scratch, all with a single prompt. This MCP update might be one of the best updates they have done for a while because this just changes the game for Webflow. Things will be different from here on. Now, for those people catching up, what is an MCP? What is a model context protocol? I'm just using this Webflow designer. I've never stumbled into an MCP. Well, MCP is essentially just like how API works. Let me show you. So as you can see, we got Claude here, right? And we got this logo here, which is what an MCP is, and this is Webflow. Now, what it does is essentially it controls your Webflow dashboard. It controls your Webflow dashboard directly with just plain language. And we have seen this before with people using DevLink, right? They would prompt something in DevLink and then it would appear in Webflow. Now, what this update does is that you can control your Webflow designer live via the terminal or with Claude. If you're just using Claude Cowork or Claude Code, you could directly get into the MCP and control Webflow. So let me show you how this would work. Now we are inside here of the designer. Now you have Webflow already set up. The next thing that you got to do is set up the bridge. And the way that we're going to be doing that is just going here with the apps and launch MCP bridge app. If it's not yet on front yet, you could just search bridge and it will appear right there. Now the thing that you got to do is just send it to launch and it will appear easily right here. Now, once it is now connecting to the MCP server, the next thing that you have to do is now set up Claude, right? So you got your MCP bridge. Now you got to set up your AI. And so the way that you got to do this is you have to download Claude if you're not using Claude already. And so let me bring up Claude here. Now, I've already done this with Cowork and Code. The way that you could do this is going through the connectors here and manage connectors and start browsing connectors. Now you got to search Webflow, and once you search it up, you hit that, and then you connect from here. Now I've already done that like what I said, and it's now inside of my Cowork and Code. Now it depends on you what you want to use. You could use Cowork because it's front end, or you could be using Code or your terminal CLI. For me, I've already used CLI. I use a lot of the CLI, which means you could be running Claude in your terminal, just like what I have over here. So let's go back to Webflow first. Okay. Now I have my terminal here. I was working earlier. Now let me reinitialize Claude here. All right. So now Claude is initializing. Now this Claude here will be talking to the Webflow MCP bridge app for it to build things inside of the designer. And so let's try prompting this. All right, so I want you to access my Webflow MCP for Web Powerhouse and then create a service page there. I've created a new service page here that doesn't have anything yet in the designer. This is the copy that I already made that I want you to develop inside of the designer. And then I could link him the file path of the copy that I already made for a service page. Okay, now let's see. All right, cool. Now it's reading the service page that I built. Perfect. It's trying to go through the skills that we already have. Now it has access Webflow MCP, and it's now checking the pages that we have. As you can see, it's trying to list all the pages that we have right now. Cool. It now found the service page, which is right here, and it's been created. It has no content, and now it's actually trying to communicate with the designer right now. It's now doing its thing. It's what it's designed to do. Wow, look at that. It's now creating how I created the structure, right? And the whole thing here is that it uses the right classes already because it scans the website before it creates any element. And it also uses the components that you have already had, that you have created, just like my inside here, like I already have a page wrapper and then global style and the footer and the nav bar here. So now it's using how I've already built before and doing it again over here. There we go. It just developed a whole section right there. This is nuts, and it's how I branded this whole website, right? And it's respecting the way that we wrote with client first. That is fast, right? And it's starting again. It took 180 milliseconds to get it done. So 216. Oh, boom! There we go. That was quick, and so it's just spawning new sections again and again, and that is nuts. And so let's wait until this finishes. Wow, it's even pretty styled here, as you can see. Boom. Well, it's not perfect yet. We could keep improving on this one. It's not yet the best for grids and design setup. The thing is, what it will do is it will try to just use the components and all the styles that you already have here, um, and then just copy pasting and rebuilding all the elements that you have, but not yet for design. I'm not saying that this is already good for creating new designs. As you can see, the FAQ needs a little bit of improvement. The spacing here needs a little bit of improvement. But the thing is, this is already a big jump from just controlling the CMS files here or the CMS data here, and then just to now developing the whole page and actually creating sections really quickly. As you can see, that was quick. 764 milliseconds is not bad, right? And also, if you want to redesign things, you just maybe create a better reference or start creating it with an actual designer. This is where still, just like in vibe coding, what happens is that you generate the whole big code, but there's this what we call vibe cleanup engineers who would have to scan and make sure things are getting done properly. Same thing here with Valve. So you still need a designer, you still need a developer to make sure that things are done properly. But for the most part, if you build your site in a proper manner when it comes to client first, most of it will be responsive. And sometimes it might not be because this is I've never generated this type of class. It still respects how I've wrote class, but you could just directly clean this up and it would be done. So as you can see, this is good enough. The final verdict, as you can see here, the design is okay. It's not the best yet. Just what I'm saying, it's not for design, but it's for more focus on development. You got to design your whole pages first and have all the components ready. Until then, Claude can read all the elements that you have created and then change that and edit that and then add this into the new page that you're creating. So it's still very quick because you got everything that you need if you've created all the infrastructure beforehand for the style guide. So there's lots of things and lots of opportunities right now in Webflow. I would say this is very scary for some designers, especially for people who are only offering just editing things, right? Like the doing the small things, this and that. I think where we're heading with the industry right now is providing more value, not just doing things when refining the grids and whatnot, or just the layers and whatnot. We gotta be upping our game when it comes to strategy. That's why, as you can see, a lot of developers right now are moving into enterprise level of development because we're offering a lot of value there. Same thing with us, Web Powerhouse. Before we were doing small mom and pop websites. We've done 500 of them, but now we shifted of offering enterprise websites to clients like BYD or Kia Motors, because the thing is, the only way to sustain in this market is to provide more value. And for us, the way that we do that is through proper process, SLAs, and infrastructure. And so this is why this update is big, because a lot of work would change, not necessarily be lost, but would be changing. Now, if you know how to still sell yourself, this is a good moment for you, because things are fun because you could be charging the same thing but spending less time. And so is actually pretty scary, but technology is here, AI is here. You got to adapt as fast as possible, understand how you could deliver more value. It's always just the reflow of what you will be offering for value, because before, if we look at an industry before, like if we were looking at video editing, right? Like video editing, you had to use Premiere Pro or this big softwares that was very hard to run before, especially with the tools that we had, with the GPUs we had. And so we're paying a lot of money for video editors. But when it became easier and accessible through phones and CapCut, video editors had a hard time because it became a commodity. Now, the same thing with every industry that matures, same thing with web development. This is what's happening with web development. Things are doing it really quickly and faster. It's going to change the way we're using Webflow as of the moment. And it's up to you how you would be packaging this as part of your offer and how it would benefit you. But the technology is here. Things are fast and things are moving very, very well. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Subscribe if you want more videos like this, and I will see you guys next time.